Hey, what's up, all you witches out there? I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, and I'm back with another Owl House episode review. This time it's episode 10, titled Escape of the Palisman. And we open up at a playground. Kind of surreal. But, during the ending credits, we always see these certain locations that we've kind of visited over the course of the first 10 episodes. So we get to see a few more of those locations as King is playing on the playground, trying to rule over the whole entire playground, claim it as his dominion. And when he gets usurped by some kids, he does this mighty squeak of rage, which is actually Dana Terrence's squeaking. So, for a second there, King is voiced by the creator of the series in terms of his unbridled squeaking. We also get to learn a little bit more about Albert, and that he is a creature called a Palisman, which is a kind of like a familiar that is attached to the top of her staff and all that good stuff. However, suddenly Ida goes unconscious and enters into that dream of when she was first cursed, just like back in the episode The Intruder. And she wakes up to find out that she had suddenly gone unconscious, and that's because her curse is starting to come into effect. So Luz takes Ida home, and Luz wants to tend to Ida, but Ida's just like, no, no, I know you have this rugby ball game going on. Go do your sports, whatever. So Luz head out and hang out with her friends. Unfortunately, the downside here is she's wearing the opposing team's colors. So she goes and grabs some Hexside stuff, only for her and her friends to miss the bus. But Luz is given an idea by Willow in using Ida's staff in order to make it to the rugby ball game. Meanwhile, King ends up finding out that Ida has actually transformed, but only partially. It's not in full effect, so Ida isn't as feral as she could be. She's still able to actually listen to King to some degree. So King wants to claim the playground as his own, taking one of the last remaining elixirs with him just in case, even giving the staff to Luz just to get her out of the house and out of his business. So the kids head out, only for Luz to prove to not be as proficient with Albert as we initially thought, actually causing some damage to Albert and causing him to run off into the forest, with the kids giving chase. And they do run into Albert, but also the Bat Queen's kids, meaning that this is the domain of the Bat Queen. And my god, she is still terrifying as all get out. I'm sorry, she is the thing of nightmares. I never want to see her again. Please take it away. So King claims dominion over the playground with Ida as his enforcer, and Luz tries to sweet talk the Bat Queen because they're kind of on good terms after everything that happened in that one episode where Luz babysat the Bat Queen's kids. Well, no, Ida babysat the Bat Queen's kids. The Bat Queen just told her about, the whole situation with Ida and all that good stuff. However, the Bat Queen knows, as she's been in communication with Albert, that he actually feels betrayed, and he doesn't trust Luz basically because of what happened. And so the only way for Luz to prove herself to Albert as well as the Bat Queen is to participate in the Bat Queen's trials, which Willow states is notoriously hard. And while other kids do offer to assist Luz in this, they end up being bound by the Bat Queen so they can't help. So she has no choice but to milk a spider demon, get rid of a demon wasp nest, and bathe the Bat Queen's babies. Meanwhile, it's King is starting to find that it's a little hard to control Ida in this form. And while he does try to demand things of her, she starts to turn on him. So he has no choice but to chuck the last remaining potion into Ida's mouth, only for it to have no effect. And she begins attacking King, only for animal control to come in, which is actually consists of the demon hunters from Hootie's Moving Castle, which I was taken off guard by, but I guess because they didn't score that big one of capturing capturing Hootie, because Hootie's a house demon, so of course they went after him. They ended up needing a side job in animal control, and they actually easily capture Ida and take her away. Meanwhile, Luz, after finishing the trials, apologized to Albert. She's so sorry about what happened, and while Albert does accept her apology, the Bat Queen captures him, saying that the last trial will be to face off with the Bat Queen in mortal combat. Something that the Luz tries to get the assistance of Willow and Gus, only for them to end up contending with the Bat Queen's kids. So while Luz grapples with the Bat Queen, she notices something at the Bat Queen's foot, which we actually did kind of see in the Bat Queen's original appearance, and that's these markings on her feet, these interlocks, that she was none other than a Palisman at one point. And, speaking of making up with someone, King tries to make things up to Ida, feeling bad that he used her power in order to make him feel important. But he realizes that this isn't enough to get through to her. So he does the one thing that actually brings Ida a lot of joy, and that's his mighty squeak of rage, which actually does manage to turn her back to normal, so, shockingly enough. So they manage to escape from the animal control demon hunter guys, and the Bat Queen tells her story that she was once the palisman of a mighty giant and his staff, but the staff was broken and she was left behind, and she is in this forest to take care of all broken palismans who are left behind by their owners. She protects them all. And while Luz says that ultimately Albert actually still belongs to Ida. Albert hasn't been forgotten or left behind. The Bat Queen still does not relent Albert, but Albert steps in to protect Luz from the Bat Queen, knowing how much and that Luz actually cares for him and is willing to go through for him. And so with this display, the Bat Queen gives up Albert. And, well, there's no actually hard feelings because Luz just really has a big heart like that. She actually asks the Bat Queen about her owner. And the Bat Queen says she doesn't quite remember. It happened thousands of years ago. So there's no way she would actually be able to remember all that happened. But Luz says that at some point she would love to help the Bat Queen possibly rediscover her past, which honestly I would love to see. The Bat Queen is thing of nightmares, but it is an intriguing mystery who the owner of the Bat Queen used to be. I would say it is the creature that composes the Boiling Isles, but that's a little too big. So we'll just have to wait and see how that plot comes to pass. But the kids are excited that Luz managed to pass the Bat Queen's impossible trials. They make their way back to the Owl House, and Luz declares Albert one of the Boo Boo buddies with her and King, giving him a band-aid on his head. So, trying to fix him up for the most part. And Ida doesn't quite mind it, with Albert giving the excuse that Luz had taken him out for ice cream, which Ida doesn't buy whatsoever, but she kind of takes a pass on it as she has her own troubles. So, the relationship between Luz and Albert has grown and blossomed into something adorable. Unfortunately, speaking of growing, Ida's curse has grown worse and past the point of being able to use elixirs in order to help her. So we're going to have to deal with that sometime in the near future. Hopefully, it'll mean dealing with the person who cursed her in the first place. And we end on a sweet note with the Bat Queen taking her babies to bed. Good night, you horrible monstrosities. But that was the episode. Such a fun little jaunt. A lot of interesting revelations, the progression of Ida's curse, King's continued inferiority complex. You know, King needs some help. He's adorable, but he needs help. And we also have the, actual growing relationship between Luz and Albert, with all the times that Albert has been kind of used by Luz, it's good to show that they actually have a solid relationship going on, which is actually very sweet and nice. But what's going to happen with Ida? I'm very interested in all of that. Will the curse grow beyond repair? Will it ultimately deprive Ida of her magical abilities? Only time will tell. But if you liked this video, leave me a like. If you didn't, feel free to leave me a dislike and subscribe and hit the bell icon. That way you never miss out on another of my Owl House episode reviews. But until then, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.